Nobody's pissed me off more than Tito Ortiz.
I've never taken steroids, and I don't want to fight someone that's...
I don't talk a bunch of shit like he wants to do. I don't want to sit here and talk shit and go back and forth. He said something about me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage, where we bring you the latest and exciting updates of UFC. First, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Dana White. Pleased by fighter's knockout loss. You see, Dana White's journey in the world of UFC is quite a story. Before he became the big boss as the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, he was managing none other than Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. Can you imagine that? And of course, managing fighters like Ortiz and Liddell is no easy task, but you know what they say, with great power comes great annoyance. During his time managing Ortiz and Liddell, White crossed paths with Bob Merowitz, the owner of the then parent company of UFC. And guess what? Destiny had other plans for Dana because he eventually ended up as the president of UFC in January 2001. Now here's the juicy part. In a recent interview, White spilled the beans on something that might surprise you. He admitted that Ortiz used to get on his nerves so much that he was glad to see him knocked out. Ouch! That's quite a candid confession, isn't it?
Nobody's pissed me off more than Tito Ortiz. I was gonna fuck him up and make him look stupid.
When Chuck Liddell knocked Tito Ortiz out, that was my favorite moment that has ever happened in UFC history.
I told Chuck I want your gloves and your trunks that you beat the snot out of him in. I put him in a glass case and hung him up in my house.
However, Ortiz himself has openly said that he wants to bury the hatchet with Dana White. Looks like they're ready to put the past behind them and move on. Time heals all wounds, right? Ortiz told Chris Van Vliet, "I don't want to say no. I think I'll give that to Dana to say no. I think I made a mistake a while back saying I'll never fight in the UFC, and it came back to bite me in the..." He continued, "It is what it is. I think he told me that. I wish we could get over the hard feelings. That's life. Life is too short to hate." Now, did you catch UFC 291 over the weekend? Surprisingly, it was held at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. And dude, let me tell you, it was a fight for the ages. Justin Gaethje secures UFC 291 win with KO. Here, UFC 291 was an absolute spectacle on Saturday night. The main event was a lightweight bout between Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, and honestly, it was a treat for your eyes. Gaethje ranked third, knocked out Poirier with a perfectly timed head kick just 1 minute into the second round. Talk about a sensational victory. While Gaethje climbed to the top of the octagon fence and pulled off a backflip to show his excitement and triumph, Gaethje is on fire. On the other hand, Poirier is not lazy either. As the second-ranked fighter, he was a favorite going into the rematch, but Gaethje had other plans. They went toe-to-toe in the first round, but the second round was all Gaethje's. His stunning victory earned him the BMF belt. Man, I can't tell you that night was packed with more exciting matchups. Alex Pereira secured a split decision win over Jan Blachowicz in the light heavyweight bout. Furthermore, Derek Lewis made history with his 14th knockout win in the heavyweight bout, and Bobby Green submitted Tony Ferguson with just 6 seconds left in the third round of their lightweight bout. Whoa! However, Kevin Holland made a statement in the welterweight bout, defeating Michael Chiesa via submission with a darts choke in just a few minutes. To top it off, there were some big names in attendance. Guys, what a night of intense battles and jaw-dropping finishes. It left fans hungry for more action. McGregor guarantees of KO victory over Gaethje at UFC 291. You won't believe that Conor McGregor seems to have set his sights on a new target. After brushing off a potential return to the octagon against Michael Chandler, he's now eyeing the newly crowned symbolic BMF title holder, Justin Gaethje. Surely a worthy plan for him, right? Recently, at UFC 291, Gaethje put his efforts on a show with an iconic win against Poirier. But the excitement doesn't end there. McGregor has thrown down the metal glove and is eager for a BMF title fight with Gaethje. It seems like he's putting any plans for a welterweight return against Chandler on hold to go after Gaethje. And my fight, fellows, McGregor isn't holding back in his confidence either. He's boldly claiming that if he faces Gaethje, he'll knock him out. Now, this potential matchup has fight fans buzzing with anticipation. It's a dream fight in the making for sure. I KO him, Justin Gaethje, with one shot, Conor McGregor tweeted. Guarantee it. Whereas Justin Gaethje, fresh off his impressive win over Dustin Poirier, didn't hold back when he responded to Conor McGregor's call-out. All in all, he mocked McGregor's challenge and made some serious accusations.
You know, I'm not going to fight someone on steroids. I've never taken steroids in my life, never will. Well, maybe when I retire I might, but I've never taken steroids, and I don't want to fight someone that is cheating. So, and I probably shouldn't even say that if I want to fight, but it's the truth.
Therefore, this feud is far from over. Let's see how it all unfolds in the octagon. There's bound to be more fireworks and trash talk along the way. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, we'd love your support. Just hit that subscribe button to motivate us to bring you more exciting content. Ferguson's post-fight statement at UFC 291 loss. Recently, UFC 291 is held, and man, it is not a lucky night for all. I mean, Tony Ferguson is an example, and for him, it was a tough night indeed. Undeniably, he was hoping to break his 5-fight losing streak, but things didn't go his way. El Cucuy was coming off a submission loss to Nate Diaz in his last fight, and he was eager to turn things around. While, on the other side, Bobby Green was also hungry for a win. He had a bit of bad luck in his previous bout, which ended in a no contest due to a head clash. But before that, he had suffered back-to-back knockout losses. Furthermore, the fight between Ferguson and Green was a real nail-biter. Tony managed to land a big right hand that dropped Green in the first round, but King came back with confidence in the second, and suddenly he dominated the action. Then, in the third and final round, things took a turn for the worse for Ferguson. He went for a takedown, but it didn't go as planned, and Green capitalized on the opportunity. Oops, it was a tough loss for Tony, and he didn't shy away from addressing it. He took to Instagram to share his thoughts. Dude, we can only imagine how disappointed he must be, but he's showing true resilience by facing the situation head-on. Nate Diaz breaks silence on absence of trash talk ahead of Jake Paul match. In the last, Nate Diaz isn't one to back down from a challenge, especially when it comes to Jake Paul. However, Jake Paul has been complaining that Diaz hasn't been generating enough hype for their boxing match. He's been calling it a BTCH move because Diaz hasn't been as vocal as he usually is before a fight. But Nate Diaz isn't about that manufactured beef life. He insists that what you see is what you get with him. He's never been one to create drama just for the sake of it. So, going into this fight with Paul, he's been a bit laid back and reserved. In a recent interview with ESPN, Diaz explained his approach to the fight and why he's been less flashy in the lead-up.
I don't need to act like it's... I don't talk a bunch of shit like he wants to do. I don't want to sit here and talk shit and go back and forth. He said something about me up at the press conference. I'm like, I wasn't there for no argument. I don't even want to go to a press conference to argue with nobody. If we're going to argue, we're going to fight. So let's just stay the away from each other until it's time to fight. Part of my language.
Moreover, Nate Diaz made it clear that he's not here to put on a show in his sports career. He's all about being genuine to himself.
Yeah, I'm ready for everything. I'm ready to go to war right now, and I'm ready to be cool until it's time to fight. I don't care. I'm in a new point in my career where it's like I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to fool anybody. If people want to watch, that'd be great. If they don't, that's fine too. I only need. That's where he got me twisted. I'm not in a gimmick fight with him. I only need him to know that I'll whip his ass. I don't need the whole world. I don't need to go begging for people to watch. Don't watch.
So let's see how it all unfolds on August 5th when Diaz and Paul finally lock horns. It's going to be one heck of a showdown. All right, guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.